In the heart of the countryside, hidden beneath the overgrown vines and forgotten by time, stood an abandoned farmhouse. The locals spoke of it in hushed tones, for it was a place that had long been rumored to be cursed. At the center of this forsaken property lay an old stone well, weathered and covered in ivy, its secrets buried deep within. The story began when a young couple, Emily and John, decided to renovate the old farmhouse and make it their home. They were drawn to the rustic charm of the place, unaware of the ominous history that clung to it. On their first night, as they lay in bed, they heard faint, haunting whispers that seemed to emanate from beneath the earth. Curiosity piqued. They investigated the well the next morning, but it appeared ordinary. Emily dropped a stone into it, and they listened as it echoed into the depths below, seemingly endless. They dismissed their unease as mere nerves, vowing to make the farmhouse their dream home. As weeks turned into months, Emily and John's nights grew restless. They were plagued by vivid, unsettling dreams of a bygone era. In these dreams, they saw the farmhouse as it once was, a place of terror and despair. Dark figures moved in the shadows, and a sense of foreboding weighed heavy upon their hearts. One night, Emily awoke to find muddy footprints leading from the well to their bedroom. Panic gripped them as they realized that something sinister was awakening from the depths below. Desperate for answers, Emily and John began researching the history of the farmhouse. They discovered that the well had been the site of a gruesome tragedy decades ago. A family had once lived there, and one fateful night they had mysteriously vanished, leaving behind only a blood-stained diary that spoke of a malevolent force lurking in the well. Terrified but determined, they decided to confront the darkness that had taken hold of their home. Armed with old books on rituals and folklore, they sought to cleanse the well and free their souls from its grip. Their attempts to cleanse the well only seemed to anger the malevolent force within. Unexplainable occurrences escalated. Objects moved on their own. Whispers grew into anguished cries, and a pervasive sense of dread enveloped them. Emily and John's mental states deteriorated as they battled the relentless horrors that had awakened. They were no longer alone in the farmhouse, for the spirits of the well had found hosts in their fragile minds. As the well's influence tightened its grip, Emily and John's sanity unraveled further. They became mere vessels for the malevolent force, carrying out its dark desires. The farmhouse became a house of horrors, a place where the living and the dead were trapped in a macabre dance of suffering. The well's hunger for souls was insatiable, and it demanded a terrible price. The darkness within it could not be contained, and it sought to spread its torment beyond the farmhouse's walls. To this day, the abandoned farmhouse stands as a foreboding reminder of the well's insidious power. It is said that anyone who ventures near the well at night can still hear the anguished whispers and feel the icy fingers of the malevolent force that resides within. The farmhouse has become a place of dread, a testament to the darkness that can consume even the most innocent of dreams. The well, with its secrets buried deep within, remains a cursed relic, a portal to a realm of eternal despair that hungers for new victims to this very day. Nestled deep within a remote forest, far from the hustle and bustle of the city, stood the grand Willowbrook Estate. It was a place of immense beauty, surrounded by lush greenery and the soothing sounds of nature. However, there was one feature on the estate that had always sent shivers down the spines of those who knew its dark history: the ancient Willowbrook Well. The Willowbrook Well had been a part of the estate for centuries, its origins shrouded in mystery. It was a stone structure, its walls covered in moss, and it seemed to descend into the earth's depths indefinitely. The locals believed it to be cursed, a belief passed down through generations. The estate had been abandoned for decades, but a wealthy entrepreneur named Richard Hawthorne had recently acquired it, with dreams of restoring its former glory. He knew of the well's sinister reputation but dismissed it as mere superstition. Soon after moving into the estate with his family, strange occurrences began to unfold. At night, the family would hear soft whispers emanating from the well, like the murmur of restless spirits. The well's water, once pure and crystal clear, turned a murky, inky black. Richard's children, Emma and James, would wake up in the middle of the night, their eyes vacant as if they were in a trance. They would be found standing beside the well, gazing into its depths with a disturbing fascination. As the days passed, the Hawthorne family's peaceful life unraveled. The well seemed to have a malevolent intelligence of its own. Shadows moved beneath its surface, taking on eerie, grotesque shapes. Richard's wife, Sarah, claimed to have seen a spectral figure rising from the well, its eyes empty voids. The family's dreams were plagued by nightmares that seemed to be memories of a bygone era. They saw images of people in old-fashioned clothing, desperately clawing their way out of the well, only to be dragged back down by unseen hands. The Hawthornes' mental state deteriorated rapidly. They became obsessed with the well, unable to tear themselves away from its sinister allure. Their once happy home turned into a house of horrors, and they could no longer distinguish between reality and the nightmares that plagued their minds. One fateful night, as a thunderstorm raged overhead, the Hawthorne family disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only the dark, enigmatic well, now brimming with an unholy malevolence. Years later, the Willowbrook Estate remained abandoned, and the well was deemed off-limits by the locals, who spoke of it in hushed tones. Some believed that it was a portal to another realm, a realm of darkness and despair where the Hawthorne family had met a horrifying fate. To this day, the Willowbrook Well stands as a haunting testament to the horrors that can lie hidden in the most idyllic of places, a malevolent force that continues to beckon, waiting for its next victims to draw into its depths.